Okay, so today I'm very excited to, join our first podcast for our new media company, Ripples. And today our first podcast is gonna be called Ripple Effect Podcast. And our first one is a very, very interesting topic chosen by yours truly, Mr. Tino. Okay, and our co-host today is our co-founder of Ripple, Mr. Savichi Bill, and Jason. Okay, so let's get started. Before I start talking a lot about the questions, I actually want to know your genuine answer, because obviously we haven't prepared answer, so this is gonna be very, very
Yes, sir.
honest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, before we start, I hope you guys learned something from this podcast. This is our first one, so please, if you have anything bad to say, just DM me directly. Don't say it in public. Okay. Okay, so the first question is, who are you? Who are you on a personal level?
Who am I? Well, I could start on a personal level. I could start by just sharing. I guess I was born and raised in Cambodia, and then I went to Logos. I went to CA, went to Logos, and then transferred out to the States. Studied in the States for 4 years, and now kind of settling back in Cambodia and meeting new people, young people who are excited, passionate, right? And yeah, we're starting this new media company called Ripple Media, and this is our the Ripple Effect podcast.
Yes. OEP. I'm going to call it that, but you don't like it.
We'll come up with a name.
Okay,
but
sure.
yeah, that's who I am.
Okay.
I was raised here. My
How about you,
parents are
Jason?
Cambodian. Yeah.
My name is Jason. You can just call me Jason. I was also born and raised here, and we
Wait,
actually.
if your name is Jason, of course we call you Jason.
No, that's my nickname.
Okay.
My real name is not Jason, but everyone can just call me Jason. Yeah, or Jackson, or any name that.
But who you are? Like, who is
So
Jason?
I was also born and raised in Cambodia. I'm actually Malaysian, and we met in CAA, but then later on I moved to Europe for 3 years to study abroad, and now as well came back almost at the same time, and coincidentally we started working together, the three of us, and yeah, I'm very excited for what is in store for all of us here in Ripple.
It's interesting because the first question that I wanted to ask is basically I wanted to know who are you personally. But then this is what I'm talking about, because it's like we are so involved in business, we are so involved in what we learn, where we go to school, and then what we do, right? But then let's say I even stressed in the beginning that this question is gonna be personal,
Right.
but then it's impossible to talk about your personal life without telling about your professional life as well, right? But then this question is gonna be the second part of our podcast. So again, now since that you know that, I want to know you more personal. Who is Bill on a personal level? Let's say you walk into a party, you're not gonna talk about where you work or this kind of background or academically.
Kind of do.
But sometimes, let's say if you wanna hit on a girl, are you gonna flex? Are you gonna talk about work?
Yeah.
Not really, no. Sometimes, in the club, what would you say?
Do you mean what's our hobby? What do we do on
what
the
color do
weekend,
you
and
like?
things
I don't know,
that.
on a personal level, on a spiritual level, it's personal, anything but not professional. Because we are going to tackle on the professional theme later on.
Yeah.
You can start, Bill.
I can start. Well, on a personal level, I think. Well, it's kind of. It depends, right? How the conversation is going, especially with the introduction.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could say I'm interested in sports. I love playing all kind of sports. I'm not good at anything, but I'm mediocre at a lot of things, which allowed me to play a lot of sports. I'm into coffee. All right, I drink a lot of coffee. We just came from a new cafe nearby.
We are not allowed to say it because it's not sponsored.
All right, well.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Go check out Tino the Coffee Yacht. No, kidding. It's closed at the moment, so whatever.
Yeah. That's
Oh, you don't want to talk about your Sunday walks?
oh
things
sure.
like that?
Yeah,
Sport. I think sport is a big part of your life, so
Right.
that could be considered as personal, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I think the idea of sport and just being able to connect with one another through sports, right? Because it's such a pure like platform. It's
Yeah.
like there's nothing else but let's say to exercise, to get better in health, or sometimes even good competition, right?
Yeah.
Like compete with one another and play. I think
Like friendly
that's the best.
competition.
Right? Yeah. So on Sunday, I walk with a group of older people, kind of skewed towards having a family, having kids, but yeah, we just go on our walks.
Wait. How old are you? Just to clarify. for the audience.
So I'm 21, and their age is probably average, maybe like 40 or 50.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, yeah, it's just like enjoy that fellowship, right?
Yep.
And be able to learn from their stories and their
Yeah.
mistakes. And I think if it wasn't for sport or it wasn't for our Sunday walk, I wouldn't be able to, connect with these kind of people,
Yeah.
or even meet them.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I enjoy sports and.
Yeah. Okay. So like the reason that we choose this topic, right, is because every time that I speak to new people, like we said in the beginning, like they cannot really separate between professional and personal, which is okay because at the end of this podcast, we are going to combine and like share with you guys how you can present yourself professionally and personally. Because let's say if you go into a job interview, you cannot just say like, okay, I love red color. It's like it's you personally, but it's not relevant to the job description.
Right.
It's not relevant to like what the employer are looking for. So that's why at the end of this podcast, I hope that you guys learn something about how to have a conversation when you are being interviewed with the employers, because sometimes you don't just ask an answer.
Right.
You make a conversation. They like you because you can do the job, but at the same time they look for your personality as well. That's why the personal level comes in to like to improve your skill, to improve your soft skill and hard skill. Okay, so Jason, you want to share your personal, who you are personally?
Personally, I used to like to play a lot of games. Used to stay home, introvert, but now I like to go out.
Now.
So yeah, now I like to go out.
No, because you're grown up now.
Grown up, yeah, probably grown up, and
Yeah.
like
Okay.
to have fun, go for coffee,
Yeah.
I was gonna say go for a walk, but probably not. But yeah, coffee. Yeah, let's just keep it. at
Yeah,
coffee,
I feel like everyone right now love going to the coffee shop, and it's like it's
Yeah.
a good place to actually. Even some job interview is being done at the coffee shop,
Right.
So it's not really. For me, I feel like okay, if you have a job interview at the coffee shop, it's less intimidating. It's
But fun fact though, I used to not like coffee at all, and I would actually discourage people to drink coffee back then.
why?
I just think
All the coffee addicts. Why? Why?
let me explain. So I just think that drinking coffee kind of mess with your sleeping schedule, sort of, especially if you're drinking after 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Right.
for example.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to sleep early, then that's probably not gonna be the best option,
Yeah.
best choice for you, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's also interesting to see how like it's so part of our life, right? Coffee, like I think I was talking to a friend and he was mentioning how everyone is so addicted to coffee and no one really knows what's life is like without coffee.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
it's like every day at least drink 2 cups of coffee, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think going back to what you said, it's just I think doing interviews at cafes really bring down that kind of almost like pressure, right? It's like, oh, we just here to talk and get to know you.
Yeah.
And rather than having this pressure, like, oh, what can you do for the company?
Yeah.
What can the company provide for me?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like I think this is such an important point. Shameless plug. Tino the coffee yet, right? So when I open it, it's like everyone asks me like, why do you open a coffee shop? I'm like, I'm not selling coffee. I'm selling the environment. I'm selling the feelings. Because it's like I used to tell one of my friends if like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if I meet new people and then they said, oh, I met my girlfriend at Tino the coffee yet. It's such a cool romantic story,
Right.
So it's like when you are going to the coffee shop, you don't just want to take a drink coffee. Of course, coffee is like the primary product.
Right.
But then what else comes with it? Like the environment, the photo, Instagram, blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So now professionally, if the employer asks you during the job interview, who are you? Like how do you answer that question?
Do you want to take a jab at it?
Sure. So I've been running my agency, digital agency, for about 3 to 4 years now. So I've had digital marketing experience for 3 to 4 years as well. With if you're including some side ones before I started my agency, then 5 years. So I have experience managing like a team of digital marketers and things like that, and also I have experience with social media marketing, management, and so on and so forth. So if you were to say my professionals field, if I had to pick, it would be digital marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But then it depends on what kind of job description you are applying for as well, right?
Yeah.
Let's say if you apply to work in a company that is more traditional, less digital marketing, but then you happen to like apply there, or not even just you personally, but like for the students, you know, like they just graduated from like
Yeah.
business administrations or IT or whatever, like accountant, they apply to work. Can they apply to work for a different job description, or is it like, okay, you do accounting, you apply for accountants?
Well, I think it's definitely open to what they want to do.
Yeah.
Right. But then it's just like if you have those kind of background already, then it's easy to show
It helps,
employers
it helps,
right,
yeah.
that you're capable of doing
But
these
they
kind of
shouldn't
things, right?
be restricted to, let's say, someone studies accounting, but then later on find out they don't like accounting.
Yeah.
And don't limit yourself like, oh,
Yeah.
I already studied, so I might
Yeah.
as well just work as an
Right.
accountant.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, then maybe start with interning. For example, if you're interested in digital marketing, maybe
Yeah.
you might be interested in
Yeah.
interning in a media company and so on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And-
And we are looking for interns at Ripple
Exactly.
Media, so if you are interested,
Yeah.
feel free to send your resume to where, you know?
Telegram.
Just send it to me directly, official tinno@gmail.com, or my telegram 092455555. Also check out ripple.kh Instagram page as well. DM us and then we'll get back to you. But like, okay, so like this topic today, we are just going to share. We are not gonna teach you to do something. We're going to share our experience. And if you can learn from our podcast, that's a win. That's the win for us already. But like every 2 weeks or so, we try to do every 2 weeks or every week if we have time to tackle all of the topic that young, enthusiastic like graduates or year 1, year 2, year 3 that they want to learn and listen to something that, you know, from like people from like older generation can share, so it's like good for them as well. So because back in the day when I study abroad, like I didn't really know that okay, you can actually volunteer or participate in internship when you are studying.
Right.
I felt like okay, I can only apply when I graduated a bachelor degree, and that's what I did. I did a lot of volunteer and internship after I graduated bachelor. Because back then no one have taught me to like, hey, it's okay to actually go out and volunteer, go out for something that you don't even have a skill for, you know, because that's how you develop your skill. So again, our company is a media company, but we are open for like graphic design, we're open for like business admin. If you are enthusiastic about the work, we are open to talk to you as well. Yeah. So that's why we like every 2 weeks we are going to share the experience. Also sometimes we going to have new guest speakers as well to join us, share the experience. In the future we are looking for like entrepreneur, you know, like people who work in the corporate world as well, because it's like in the process we three also want to learn,
Right.
because we don't know everything apparently. Like
Apparently. Well, it's true that we don't know everything.
yeah. So
I think it's really exciting to even have this podcast, right? Because I think as we want to create like a platform for us to be able to share stories.
Exactly.
And maybe learn, because we just started a media company last week.
Yes.
And maybe follow the process that we're doing, right? Maybe learn from the mistakes that we do.
Exactly.
Right. And maybe just be able to share each other's expertise,
Yes.
each other's failures,
Yeah.
which I think is important as well. And like Tino mentioned, hopefully we'll be able to get some interesting or guest speakers that will be able to come and who know a lot more than us in
I
like a
know.
So
certain field.
do
and
recommend down below in the comment
Yeah, who
section.
do you wanna see?
Who do you want to see, and what kind of topic you guys want us to cover, and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like how long is it already?
15 minutes.
Only 15 minutes. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. I didn't prepare this, but I actually am intrigued to know, aside from personal and professional level, can you describe yourself in a very spiritual way or religious or
Okay.
whatever. Like if you feel like you are more than just personal and professional, right?
Mhm.
Because we have different beliefs, we have similar beliefs. So who are you in a spiritual level?
Right. I mean,
Where to start?
yeah, where to start, right? I
Go
think,
get a Bible.
yeah, for me, I think it's in terms of just like, let's say when people ask who I am, I was talking to, he's like a mentor, also a friend from Seattle. His name is Lucas, and he was just sharing how like we now lack this sort of like empathy, right? Like every time we ask, like you said,
Yeah.
like who are you, or like hey,
Yeah.
what's your name? It's always like, hey, my name is XYZ, and here's
Yeah.
what I do.
Exactly.
But it's never, this is why I do the things that I do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And this is, I think it's important, right, to really understand what's motivating this person, and really know the why, right?
Uh-huh.
So even with Ripple, right, our tagline is rippling passion.
Yes.
Because we were working, and we just wanted to create an environment where it's just like, man, these people are so passionate with what
Yeah.
they're doing, right?
Yeah.
These people are just so positive. These people are just creating ripples within the community and be able
Exactly.
to share that,
Yeah.
right? So that for me is kind of like my why in terms of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I think for me, if you talk about religiously, I'm a believer. I'm a Christian, and I think God has a plan for all of us, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that I was brought into Cambodia and came the same time as Jason, and we were
Yeah.
able to meet and come together at a company we're working together. I think like he definitely has a plan that brought us here,
Yep.
and I'm fortunate and I'm grateful for all the opportunities that come along,
Yes.
right? So yeah, for me it's just like I think people are just taking granted of a lot of things, right? Dude, I mean the fact that we're sitting here and like we're not in Afghanistan where there's war, right?
Okay.
Right? No, I'm just
Are we
saying.
going there right now? Are we going
No.
there right now? Okay, fine.
I'm just saying, right? Like we have it so good.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes we've been thinking like, oh my gosh, like if only I have a new car,
iPhone,
new iPhone coming out, right?
out.
Or like a new watch, But
Okay.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's just it's people are not seeing what's like how lucky they are,
Yeah.
and even though like let's say you're not the most fortunate, I mean it's not like always look to the people that have it worse, but just be grateful, with
You have to balance
right?
it.
Yeah, like with the things that
Yeah.
you have, and
Yeah.
then
How about you, Tino?
yeah. How about you?
Mind
Tino?
sharing?
For me, it's very tricky. I don't really know where to start because it's like for Cambodian children, we were born to be very respectful to Buddhism and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I'm Buddhist by default.
Right.
But I'm intrigued to hear more about like different religions. I'm always like open to learn more religion, more beliefs, and I met new people and they explain to me what their beliefs is. It's like it's very interesting to me. And in the process, if I can learn something and we can share something to our viewers as well, it is definitely good. But then I feel like we like as a person sometimes we forgot to explain that okay, who am I? I am a student, but first I am a child. To my mom, I am a brother. To my brother, my sisters, I'm a nephew to my auntie. But we forgot all of that. The
Right.
first thing that you said, who are you? Oh, my name is this. I went there, studied this, work here.
Right.
But then this is so, like, what was the word?
We lack like the the
exactly.
human part.
So we
of
like go
human,
straight
right?
there, but
Yeah.
it's like where is the zigzagging until there? Like what made you Tino today?
Right.
Because it's like okay, I failed a few subjects. That's why I
Right.
become who I am today.
Right.
But then I graduated from a master. That's who I am today. Because it's like the journey is not always straightforward. That's why
Right.
it's like for the kids this day, like like high school. Let's say for example, they fail high school. They be like, oh, their life is over. Your life is not over because you have your whole life ahead of you. And some people they study medical and then they end up become a very famous influencer.
Right.
So it's like life is so interesting.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like going back to kind of like here's my name and what I do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us is kind of like I really hate the word like networking because it's always like
Really?
no, yeah, because
Why?
I think it's like
Just
Like
using
you're
someone.
going there, like okay, what do you do?
Okay.
How can I use you later on since you're in my network?
Not really trying to
Right? Yeah.
Connect.
Right.
as a person.
Because every time, like even during school, right, you probably went to like there's like networking event
All
And-
the time.
and then all there is just like, hey,
My name
my name is this. How
this is
can
what I do.
how can I use you in the
Yeah.
future,
Yeah.
or how can you benefit
So what is
me,
the
right?
what is the better terms to describe networking event?
I don't know.
Get in
Getting to
contact.
know or getting to know that
Getting
person.
to
But
know.
it's a bit personal.
I
I don't want to go to
know,
an
I know.
event that they want to get to know me. Why do you want to get to know me?
It's not. I understand that it's called networking night, right? But
Yeah.
it's just like for me, it's like it always implies that you go here, you can meet
Okay.
these people, you can use them
Okay,
in the
but
future,
saying
right?
this it makes sense, but at the same time, there's two ways to this. Like, I understand we want to make connection and we're really lacking it, but at the same time, imagine he has 40K followers. Do you think he's able to one-on-one connect with each of his followers? I think it's very hard. So,
Okay.
so nowadays, I think it's because of digital era where everything is like online and we have so many options. Even with dating, right? You were
Yeah.
talking the other day, dating. There's so many options now, like back then, where
Right.
you have
Yeah.
to go meet one-to-one, get to
Write
know
letters.
the person, write
your
letters,
era.
Yeah.
and then slowly fall in love and things like that. Right now, you just go on like people
Yeah.
use Tinder, you can just
Yeah.
swipe left, right, left,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's like tons of options. So taking the time to get to know each and everyone would be kind of impossible.
Exactly.
In
I
my
mean, there's
opinion.
7 billion of us,
Exactly.
right? So
and
even
growing.
right, yeah. So it's always, but it's just like, it's. I think now, especially now, it's just the lack of really trying to get to know that person, especially in our society, right?
Yep.
So yeah, there has to be a balance, but I really like to see more of connecting
Yeah.
with one another, and
Yep.
I mean, it's also not fair to say that, let's say, you go to a cafe, everyone's on their phone. It's not that they're not connecting with the people around them, but it's like they're connecting with the people that they want to connect to, right?
Yeah.
Let's say if I'm sitting at a cafe with Tino and I don't want to connect with him, but I have this person that's really
Yeah,
special,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
Then I have that option, right?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. No, because I feel like this is such a good topic. Thank you for helping me figure out the next topic for the next podcast. But like to summarize everything into like one thing that we can also discuss today is we just want to know how to be able to actually describe ourselves to other people. But then according to what you guys have said, I think it depends on the circumstance. It depends on like the situation. It depends on whether it's a personal, it's dating, it's work, and sometimes it could be both. It
Right.
could be a combination of both. So if, for example, you said like, oh, why do you first of all jump to what you do, who you are? But then let's say for a guy who give up his job for charity, right? So I think it's okay for him to talk about charity because it's his whole life.
Right.
So in some way, I think it's okay to actually talk about your work. So as a student, I think you should be able to pick and choose which relevant topic that you describe yourself to the people that find you relevant in terms of the situation, in terms
Right.
of context. So the long story short, let's just test the situation first.
Test the situation.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like for example, let's say if you go to the networking event,
Uh-huh.
you were supposed to talk about work,
Yeah.
but then the
Ah.
people that you are talking to interested more to get to know you on a personal level.
Right. Yeah.
Because sometimes I went to the networking event, I wanted to talk about my master or whatnot. Then I end up working as an influencer for them.
Yeah.
So it's like you pick and choose, your own battle.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like there are some things, especially even when you're talking to employer or talking to people that you think could be, beneficial if you get to know them. The moment you start talking about things that you're passionate about, then you can feel that, right?
Yeah.
Like like
Exactly.
man, this
Yes.
person
Yes.
is really interested in this topic,
Yeah.
and it's contagious, right? It's not just like because
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
my name is Soichi, I like marketing, right?
I know.
Right? It's just like people can tell that.
Yeah.
Oh, are you only doing it for this reason or whatever reason? But
Yeah.
if deep down you're just passionate and
Exactly.
you're really in love with this topic, like people can tell, right? You can tell immediately, like, okay, this person,
Yeah.
man, like
Okay.
he's passionate about this.
Yeah.
So it's like for me, it's just being kind of like being authentic to yourself and be
Absolutely. it's amazing that you mentioned the word authentic. It's like I love that word because it's like be who you are and love what you do because it's like no one else can be you besides you, right? So I always a big advocate for like being who you are, being unique. Like in this age, like kids scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, everyone is gorgeous, everyone is six pack, everyone is blonde or like tall, but then you will have your time.
Right.
You can't be tall physically or whatever, but like you will end up doing something amazing for your country, for your community, for your family. So that's who you are. So why do you want to do something else that other people cannot even do, but only you? Because it's like my I don't know if it's a quote, but I saw it somewhere or it's a meme. They say the thing was they say like don't compare the fish ability to fly, but compare the fish the ability to swim. If it makes sense.
Yeah,
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
But what are you comparing it with?
Because it's like for I don't know. That's why I don't remember. I don't remember it clearly. But
You
like
should have said a bird or something compared to a bird.
Or don't judge the fish ability to fly.
Like a bird?
Like okay, fuck it. Sorry.
Oh, bleep.
Bleep. Okay, so should we? Okay, so to conclude our topic again, the idea of this podcast is we want to create a ripple effect to get you guys talking, to get you guys ask question. If you have any question, message one of us. Any time of the day, we'll respond, we'll reply, we'll try our best. But if you have any question that regarding more than just this topic, we will try to answer you. But like, bear in mind that we're going to have this every 2 weeks, so we are going to cover more and more topic.
Right.
And once again, recommend us some topics. It can be about business, marketing, digital marketing,
or even
influencer
personal
marketing,
personal, whatever.
psychology, philosophy.
And if you're interested, if on being on the podcast too,
reach out. Feel free to
reach out. Say hello. We'd happy to say hi.
Exactly.
And if you're interested in having some CEOs in Cambodia to potentially be in this podcast, let us know
Spam them
too.
right now. Tag them in the
Or
comments.
any
Spam them.
influencers, just let us know. And
anything else you'd like to add, Tino?
I think that's all for now. But like again and again, don't think like we are trying to teach you something. We are just sharing our own experience. Maybe our experience is like way off. So
maybe this is what you shouldn't do.
Maybe by 30 you should be married, have kids, and enjoy.
Well, you're speaking for yourself there, bro.
You're here by yourself.
I don't want to talk about myself. That's another different podcast. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that we have time to edit it, to post this to every social network. But
And create a ripple effect.
All right, there you go.
Perfect.
Thank you.